Hello, hi. I am doing a video experiment with my friend Brie from Four Paws in a Book. I will have their channel down below, but what we're doing is kind of fun, and we are basically judging books by their cover. I am going to go to Barnes & Noble today, and I am going to go shop for Brie and pick out a book for them to read just based on the cover alone. Obviously, it's not something that they have read before. It could be something that is on their TBR, but I am purposefully choosing it just because I like the cover and seeing if they end up liking it. Brie is also doing this for me. They are going to go to Barnes & Noble and just vibes only with a cover that they like. They are going to pick a book for me to read. It could be on my TBR, it could not be on my TBR. We are trying to keep this spooky, so we'll see. I also know that they like fantasy, so I might take a gander over there just because like I know nothing about fantasy. It could be fun. So the next clip you will see is Brie shopping for me. I'm pretty sure we're not actually buying the book. I will be buying a book for myself, probably based on the cover, but I think this is gonna be super fun. Just a little experiment to see like, if I like the cover, do they like the book? And if they like the cover, will I like the book? So let's go.
Okay, so we're here at Barnes & Noble. I'm sure Michelle has already told you everything that we are doing, but I'm here to pick a spooky book out for Michelle to read based solely on the cover. So, we're doing spooky books, so my idea is probably going to be mostly horror books. I'm going to look at the new releases. We might look at some YA horror, but I know Michelle doesn't read as much YA anymore, so we'll just have to see what we're doing. But the idea is that I can't like flip over the book to read the back of it. I can't look at the like, you know, synopsis or anything like that. Just make sure that it's a spooky book, and then vibes only. So here we go. This is beautiful. We love this. Ooh, that's pretty. That's haunting. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so these are the 5 that I've picked out, and I like them all for very different reasons. This feels like very classic horror movie, kind of like, I don't know, just kind of out there. This one was just so jarring when I pulled it out that I was like, oh, this is so weird. This one is just so atmospheric and spooky. Kind of this one for the same reason, that this just looks so ominous, almost like dystopian. And then this one I picked out because we both just read House of Hollow and loved that cover for like how beautiful it was. And this one kind of gives me the same vibes. So I don't know which one to pick. Okay, we're gonna go with this one, which I don't know if that's a great choice because neither one of us loved House of Hollow, but this cover is just like, when you put them all together, this one just speaks to you. And like her face up there is just so just like calmingly creepy. So here we go.
Hello. So Bree has chosen They Drown Our Daughters by Katrina Monroe. Would you believe me if I said that I already own this book and I got it because of the cover? Probably not. I buy books for the cover a lot, so this is why I bought this one. And I also bought it because Kayla from Books and Lala really liked this book. I am still going in knowing nothing about it. I watched Kayla's video at least 2 months ago, so that is completely out of my brain about what it's about. I truly have no idea what it's about anymore, but I do love the spooky vibes of this. I looked real fast at the Goodreads rating and it is pretty low, but that doesn't really stop me. But I absolutely am so excited to start this. I'm starting the audiobook on script. So I'm on page 108 of They Drown Our Daughters, and I'm really liking this. I will say it's a little slow, but the atmosphere of this book and the writing are just so good that like it doesn't really matter to me that it's slow. But this is going in 2 different time periods, and it's following the mom who just died and then her daughter Meredith as they like see if their house and the beach that their house is on is cursed. And it is just like a very slow burn horror, which I'm not really used to. All of the horror that I have read has been like very fast paced, so I am liking this for the different pace. But once again, not much has happened, but the writing is so good. So as you can see, I have a lot more to go, but I am liking this a lot, and I am liking the 2 different like going back and forth in time. I'm liking that a lot. So I made it to page 138 tonight, and I think I understand why this has such low ratings, and it is because this is mostly fiction. And it's like horror light, which probably is why people are not liking this. However, I'm really liking this. I don't mind all of the like contemporary literature stuff with the light horror. Like, I kind of like this. So, however, I have to go to bed, and the last chapter ended on a cliffhanger, and like I'm thinking about doing it, but I just checked the next chapter and it's going back in time again. So I am going to go to bed tonight, but I'm probably not going to finish it tomorrow, but definitely the day after that. But I'm really liking this one. Hi, I am on page 291. I have like 60 pages left of this, and the problem with this book is that it's boring, which really sucks because I was hoping to really like this. 1, because of the cover, 2, because of the back description, and 3, because Kayla from Books and Lala really liked it. Although I am discovering that like we don't have the same taste in anything at all, so like this probably isn't surprising. This on the back says horror fiction, but it's mostly fiction. I had 1 scene of a horror something happen, and it wasn't that scary. Not that like horror needs to be scary per se, but it was just like nothing. And now we're back to the contemporary fiction stuff. It's kind of paranormal, but like mostly it's boring, and I hate that. Because now I'm not gonna like this, and I'm gonna have to get rid of this book and this beautiful cover, and like that is not what I want. And I wanted to like this book because it has such a beautiful cover, and that was like the whole point of this video. But so far I'm feeling like it's gonna get a pretty low rating, so I'm almost done. I'll probably update when I finish. So yeah. Hi. So I did finish this, but I have decided to sleep on it. So I will give a review and rating tomorrow, and then I'll wrap up this video, so we'll see. Hello. Last night I finished They Drown Our Daughters by Katrina Monroe, and I'm gonna talk about, first of all, what it was, because I realized I did not do that very well, and then I'm going to give my rating. So the premise of this video was to pick books just off of their covers, and if they were a good book based off beautiful covers. I bought this before Brie had sent me her book shopping thing before because of the cover and because of Books and Lala's rating. I checked back on Goodreads and Kayla rated it 3 stars. I thought it was higher than that. So this is a story of a curse on a family because someone in the family had killed someone else and dropped her in the water. So we are made to believe that the spirit of the person that was killed was in the water and killing the women in this family for revenge. That's basically the premise. So we are following Meredith, like present day, and what I liked about this book is that it was queer. I did not know that going in, but Meredith and her partner Kristen have a daughter named Alice, and unfortunately Meredith and Kristen are getting divorced, which sucks for queer stories, but that's fine, whatever. Alice and Meredith go to Meredith's hometown, which is the Cape Disappointment, and basically Meredith and all the women in the family always feel pulled to the ocean, to the childhood home, which, okay, so that's like the premise of the book. We then find out that Meredith's mother, Judith, is not doing well. She has early onset Alzheimer's and ultimately goes in the ocean, and we think commits suicide. But then later on in the story, we know that there is a curse in the water for these women. So that was really intriguing. I actually really liked this in the beginning, but then somewhere around the 200-page mark, I felt very bored. And that's when it started to go downhill for me. I really, until like the 200-page mark, really liked the story, really liked the atmosphere so much. This setting is so cool. But those two things and like the queer aspect could not bring this story together for me, unfortunately. So one of my updates said that like, okay, I'm bored now. And that's how I felt until pretty much the very end. This was 367 pages. And so like over almost 200 pages, I was bored. We get to the twist in this story, and I personally don't think it made any sense. Like, it went off the rails and just did not work for me at all. So having slept on my rating for this book, I have decided to give it 2 stars, which is, in my opinion, not good. Like, I do not recommend this book, especially if you're looking for a horror, especially if you're looking for like a gothic horror. I would absolutely skip this one. The cover is obviously beautiful, but it does not match what is on the inside. Also, on the very back, it says this is horror fiction. This is horror light. This is almost no horror until the very end. And by that time, when the horror actually happens, you're bored out of your mind that it doesn't even matter. So for me personally, this project failed because this is one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen, and I bought it for myself because of the cover, and I ended up not liking this story at all. So I guess what is to say is you cannot judge a book by its cover, and like, I know this. It's been said to me like my whole life, like not just books, but you know, people. However, I will continue to buy books because of the cover and then just suffer. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks Brie for picking out this book. I'm sorry that it didn't work out the way that we thought it would. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye!